My name is Moses KIGUATHI. Today is on 30th August 2023. Today we have enrollment of students at different universities across the country. And the factor of school fees has actually come up very many times. It comes up to the people who can afford it and also to the people who can't afford it. To the people who can afford it, they care because they just want to know the number so they can pay. And for those who can't pay, for them it's actually a real concern on the opportunities which their children will be able to get in future. So in my opinion, education is very valuable. Today, many universities are enrolling students, and this brings a very serious question. And when you observe the environment, you see that very many people are struggling to raise the school fees because this year's government's funding has been the funding model has been changed, and so you find very many people are suffering. In my opinion, I think that it's time we have this conversation on why do we even have tertiary education, the whole purpose. Because when we deal with the purpose of why we have this tertiary education, it would help us more understand better on the funding models and the school payment models. And also we will also have to ask ourselves this question of the value of education, the value, what results, what return on investment does the parent get, does the community get? Because right now, considering how school fees prices have spiked, and I try to understand where the government is coming from. They cannot pay for everyone to have an education, yet some people are also doing bogus courses, uncompetitive courses. These are all challenges which people are going through, which need to be addressed, especially the quality of education. The quality matters so much. On the competitive aspect, we should not only focus on producing graduates, we should focus on producing graduates who can do something valuable, who can work, who can actually solve a problem. I think the problem with this age is that we are focused so much on having a paper that we forget the whole purpose of having a paper is to qualify you to solve a problem, to qualify you so that you can go get a job where you'll be solving a problem for even the companies you'll be working for. You see, people think that education is just about getting the paper. Getting the paper is the first part. I myself, I have studied TV and film production. I have a diploma. I am competitive in my field. I can shoot, produce, edit, distribute. I can operate any camera, and all these I got from a TVET institution. Because in my personal case, in 2017, people congratulated Dr. Fred Matiang'i for students failing. I think that would be a year which was very good to ask the students and the teachers a question: why did so many students fail? What is the purpose of our education model? Is it to limit as many people from getting to the next step, or what is the purpose of the criteria being used? Sometimes I don't get it. This is not a rant. I am actually on the side of education, because any growing country deserves and actually needs an educated, competitive, and honest workforce. With all these things comes a few challenges. we can go on the first part, educated. What is education? Education is a skill. It's actually a skill. Being educated is a skill. It's a skill to comprehend information, decode it, and also repackage it in your own words. That's a short definition of education, and a small difference of someone who is educated and someone who is not educated is someone who is educated can read a statement, a book, and understand what the book says. And someone who is even more educated will not only read the book and understand it, they can also write their own summary of the book. And that's a very important aspect, the writing part. That's what differentiates medium scholars and better scholars, because better scholars can tell the story they learned. Not very good scholars cannot tell the story. Yeah, they cannot tell the story as per the standards set by the system. Yeah, on the education part, on that, the government has worked very much to fight illiteracy. Many people can read and they can understand statements. They can make statements on their own. Yeah, they can read the newspaper, they can read the TV, they can read their phones, they know how to operate them. So on that educated front, the first part, I think as the government has done quite remarkable work over the past 20 years since the introduction of even free primary education. It gave a lot of people a chance to sharpen their skills, to learn new skills, and it's something very important. It's something very important to a growing nation. On the second part, competitiveness. Now here is where the problem is with our education system. We have very many students who are enrolling into courses. First, out of, let's say, 300 students who enroll, like 50 graduate. Yeah, but the other 250, if you still ask them what did you study, they will still tell you the course they did, though they did not graduate. They will still tell you, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. They will give the excuse of maybe school fees, other things, and that actually brings the problem, competitiveness. When employers are employing people, are they employing them on the merit of competitiveness? Are they testing competitiveness, or are they just looking for papers? But I know the competent employers, they will use a competitive model to select their prospective employees. This is a good thing because it puts more emphasis on the quality of education, and also it brings out a new chance of the training institutions which are offering value. They will stand out. Their students will stand out as compared to university students who are not competitive. Yeah, when I say competitiveness, let's say for my case, for example, I have done media. I also know how to operate sound. Actually, I also do graphic design. You see, we do a lot of things. Personally, I am a trained producer. That's my qualification. Producer of what? That's the other question. You can have a certificate, a paper which says you are an expert, but can you do what the paper says? Yeah? If the paper says you are good in audio production, can you actually do it? Can you record music? Can you do sound for film, voiceovers, marketing sounds, equipment hiring? Can you do Foley sound? Because education is not like a machete. Education is not like a panga. It does not cut on one side. Yeah? Every employer is looking for multi-talented employees who are not only going to fill one role. And I'll finish up by saying this. Every employer wants an employee he cannot get rid of, an employee he cannot live without, an employee who goes the extra mile. And that's where discipline counts so much. There are very many qualified people, but they are indisciplined, so they are dishonest, and the very bad factor of honesty carries the most weight. Skills might get you jobs, they can help you start businesses, but the only thing that can last, can keep you at that job, is your discipline. The only thing that can keep your business running is how disciplined you are, how much you actually understand, what is expected of you, and how much extra mile you are willing to go to achieve your desired results. Yeah. Have a good day, and don't forget, great people look like you. This is my perspective. I am Moses KIGUATHI. Have a good day.